Hola, mi amigo.
Oh,
I'm
we're
back.
recording.
We're recording. Yeah.
Oh,
For
I didn't even hear
18
it.
seconds. Yep. Recording.
I'm eating.
Yeah, Ryan. Finish eating them chips. Yeah, go ahead.
Wow. Let me get some water.
All right.
I didn't know we're recording. You didn't.
Good thing we don't have a time limit.
Okay. Do we?
Nope. That's why I said it.
Okay. I thought it was sarcastic. All right. Alrighty. I'm here. Welcome to episode 54. Correct?
Welcome to episode 54.
This is the episode where Jared deceived his friend into making him buy a stock.
I didn't make you do anything.
No, you did. You had a great. Wait. Side note. So our podcast. What have they been blown up on? I looked on Apple and I didn't see anything.
What do you mean?
You said it was up to like a ton of views. On which platform?
Well, Anchor shows you the statistics.
Oh, that's why I wasn't looking at Anchor. I was looking at Apple Podcast and I was like, I can't see how many people have used this.
Yeah, you got to log into Anchor. But basically, they just keep going up. Like usually they like to stall out at around 30, and now they're up to around the 40 to 50 level. And this Netflix one is doing pretty good that we just put out last week. They're enjoying it. The audience is enjoying it. Let's get a little, yeah.
So we're famous, pretty much.
Go team.
Now.
Basically,
the road to being famous. We're gonna start monetizing absolutely everything. So you're gonna have to pay for our podcast now. Sorry about that. And we'll make millions of dollars and switch up on everybody.
Right. And then we'll make NFTs.
Speaking of switching up, Jared.
That was a good one.
I didn't even try to do that. It's just on my mind.
That was good. Before we get into that, can I say something?
Oh, God. I'm just fuming right now. Go for it.
So today is currently Monday, April 25th. And in 2 days, actually not even 2 days, the day after tomorrow, I will be going to the Berkshire. Well, I won't be going there. I'll be going to Omaha, Nebraska.
Wow.
Right there. The credentials right there.
Middle of nowhere, America.
I will be going to Omaha, Nebraska to attend the Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholders meeting. I will be in attendance to watch two very old men talk about investing.
That's
because
exhilarating.
I'm basically doing it this year because I don't know how much longer they'll be alive.
All right. And he said, look, we could just, we all know, but it's like one of those things that doesn't have to be said, you know?
Well, I said it.
Okay.
I said it. Yeah. Buffett's 92, 91, Munger's 98. You know what I mean? They're
98. Munger's 98.
Uncle Charles is up there. Who the fuck is that?
Dude, they just walked in. I'm talking like as you hit record.
Tell them you're recording so they don't blast music.
All right.
Real quick. Ask them politely. Say Jared said thank you.
I'm recording. Could you shut the fuck up, please, and thank you? Could you shut the fuck up? I am recording. So could you shut the fuck up? Get the fuck out of here. Don't enter no, they're entering the lair.
Oh! Alright. Who's that?
Hello there.
Hello! Is that Mike?
Hello there.
Oh!
He just said, is that Mike? He thought you were Mike.
No, that's not Mike.
He's insulting you.
Jack thought you were Mike.
It's the tension between them still.
Yeah,
there is, man. You know, I never got to meet Jack. If I would
He's
have
not
met
even
Jack,
in the camera. He's flexing in the back like this.
if I would have met Jack, we would have been good guys.
Show him. Hey, he's turned up like he's trying to intimidate you.
Look, he's flexing too. He doesn't even have abs like that. So
I'll take my shirt off, Jack, right now, bro. We can flex right now.
Let's all do it.
Let's just all take our pants and shirts off and
All
film
right,
it.
we're recording right now. We're actually like this is all being recorded.
Find bloopers. Let's do it.
Okay. Oh, bloopers. Yeah. We should make one of those.
People do you have watching?
We should.
It's not live.
Oh, fucking 0.
Okay. Oh, get the fuck out of you, stupid math major bitch. All right. Yep.
Bye, Tristan. Bye, Jack.
All righty. Anyway, Monkey is 98.
It's hard to circle back to this from that.
Dude,
Yeah.
hey, we should make a
Yeah.
blooper episode. That would actually be hilarious. I think we'd have a
I
time.
wanna. Yeah, I do want to start. Yeah,
It'd just be so hard to go back.
I know.
I'm gonna sneeze.
I'm waiting.
How much of this are we taking out?
All of it. The first 5 minutes of this will be cut instantly.
All right, starting now. All right,
I'm going to Omaha, Nebraska
there we go.
to
Middle of
see
nowhere,
Warren Buffett
America.
and Charlie Munger, Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting. I had to buy a share of Berkshire, and I had to. This is fucked. This is actually messed up. Got these 2 credentials right here. Max, never mind. I was gonna say mute yourself whenever I'm talking, because I can. There's an echo now. Okay, he's muted. Okay, so I bought a share of Berkshire, right? Class B, obviously, because Class A is $500,000. Can't afford that, not in the budget. So I did that, and then so what they do is they send you an annual report in the mail, and in the annual report there's like a credential form that you can print out, and then you can write how many credentials that you want to be sent to you to attend the meeting. A maximum of 4 is allowed. Obviously, there's only 2 people going, me and my girlfriend, right? But I wrote in 4. Why did I write in 4? I sold the other 2, yes. And it's funny because after I did that, mute yourself again, Max. Okay. Wait, hold on. Can I?
We can't do this whole.
No. I can mute you. I can mute you. Okay, you're muted right now. After I did that, I realized that like Berkshire is not a fan of people that do that. So, you know what I mean? I feel kind of bad now, but you know, what are you going to do about it? So yes, I'm leaving Wednesday morning at like 5 a.m. It's an 11-hour drive and it'll be fun. You're unmuted.
So I'm guessing you eBayed this and sold it off to somebody, and you did exactly what you weren't supposed to.
That's absolutely correct.
That's wonderful. That's actually wonderful. That is thinking with your head. And you probably paid for your Berkshire Hathaway share through selling these. How much are people willing to pay for these? And are there a lot on eBay?
I only sold them for like I sold both. I didn't want to go crazy, and they don't go crazy because there's a large portion of them on eBay. I only sold them for $20 total.
Fair enough. Then
Yeah.
I mean, are there really a lot on eBay? That's actually kind of funny.
You can actually.
I would imagine people do that.
You can actually. No, you're good, Max. You're good. You can actually. Well, let me see. Let me see if it's still. Your square is lighting up, but I can't hear myself. Talk.
Hello.
Okay. We're just gonna go with it. You can actually find a lot on eBay, and a lot of people sell them for like $5 to $10 each. But instead of going that route, I spent $317 on a share in order to go, when I could have spent $10 just to buy the credentials.
Oh wow, yeah.
So
You kind of played yourself.
I mean, I'm up on the investment. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Okay,
up,
there you go then.
right? So I mean, it's
You
okay.
didn't play
Right?
yourself.
I
Wow,
didn't
you could have just. Don't you wish you would have thought of that before?
know. I kind of wanted to own the share. I feel cooler that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like you're actually like legit. What
Yeah,
if
I'm an
they
actual
like?
shareholder. Max,
what
what
if
is
they like?
Max? What is that? What does that say?
Says you're a shareholder, but there's also probably a lot of people on eBay selling it to people who are non-shareholders who have the same exact shareholder tag, so it's going to look like they're shareholders too.
But I wanted to actually be a shareholder.
And all those other people are actually technically
Not.
shareholders with the card.
They're not shareholders. They just have the credential form.
All right. So is there a? That's exciting. Wednesday?
Yeah, man. Wednesday.
That
Going
is
there
exciting.
Wednesday to Sunday. Yes, sir.
Are you going to tell them that you sold Alibaba? Yep, I said it.
Whoa. Right there,
Yep,
huh?
I said it. I need to know.
Going right at the throat, I see.
This
huh?
is the man who talked about Alibaba for not days, not weeks, almost a year, and said it was, it was the next best thing.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, no, you did. You said it's
No.
extremely undervalued,
That is
and
what I said.
I just can't tell. I don't know why it's this undervalued, and the fundamentals haven't changed, and now you've changed. Now the fundamentals of your investing have changed.
Actually, that's where you're wrong, my friend.
Please impress me.
Okay, so at the end of the last episode, the Netflix episode that you weren't a part of, me and Logan had a long talk. And I was like, you know what, Logan? I'm going to be honest with you. I sold Alibaba and Facebook
I
for a
can kind of
loss.
tell from your video, the last video you posted. I could tell because it said I made a mistake, and I was like, I don't think he'd be making this. It clicked. That's why I guessed it. Anyway, continue.
So, as you know, per the video that I put out, it was Max, are you messing with something like a cord?
Sorry, I just moved my finger. I didn't know you could hear that.
Yeah. Per the video that I put out, there was a multitude of reasons that came to mind, and I was like, maybe this isn't the right investment for me. So here it is. Do I understand the business? Absolutely not. No one does. No one. I don't believe anyone can actually fully understand Alibaba. They're in e-commerce, retail, payment services, logistics, cloud computing.
Yes, they're a monster of a company.
Huge company. And they're in China, dude. I don't understand. I don't even know. I can't even say their currency correctly.
The
You know what I
yen.
mean? No, it's like renminbi. I don't know how to say
the
it.
yen.
Japan. Yeah. That's what Logan said too. He said yen. I was like,
All right, that's my bad.
So one, I didn't understand it. That doesn't mean it's not at a good price. Obviously, I think everyone can agree that it's trading at a good price. But I don't understand it fully. My main reason for buying was because a lot of the investors I respect bought it. But the problem is when you follow an investor into a stock, what happens when they sell?
You lose.
What do you do? I'm not saying that was my only reasoning for buying the stock, but if you're just cloning someone and they sell, do you just sell and you
I don't know.
lose money?
I would say, well, I mean, it obviously depends on what you want to do, but I would say when they do sell, they don't do it all together, but those increments are enough to move it substantially, which could incur some losses after that. Quite possibly. I'm guessing you're disagreeing.
Not a big stock like Baba. I mean, maybe if it was a smaller company, them selling would move it a little bit. But I would say the news of them selling probably affects it more than them actually selling.
I think the way Alibaba has moved is because of, like you said in your video, it was overhyped by so many, so everyone's like, okay, like it was the big time investors in buying. Also, everybody making a YouTube video saying they're buying. Those people watching those YouTube videos were buying. So I think it was just completely overinflated for a while.
Just a little bandwagon type thing. You know what I mean? Like everyone got into it, and like I said, it's a good company. It's definitely at a good price, and it wasn't because the price kept dropping that I sold it. I fucking rode that thing down from 200 to 70. You know what I mean? Like I didn't. It wasn't the price that made me sell it. It was me thinking to myself, okay, I have a checklist, and I went through it again, and I was like, did I really, these questions, did I just glance over them, or did I really think about them? And I'm like, I'm not that smart to be able to understand a multinational Chinese company that is in 7 million different segments of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it complex? Yes. Is it a good company? It very well could be.
It is.
And I think it's like you just said, it's at a price that is kind of like it does way too much. I'm not saying it just labeling as undervalued, but I could see it being undervalued in terms of what it does and the revenue that it brings in. And I think a lot of it is being flushed out from these big time, because you said a lot of these big times people sell it or sold it,
Yeah,
and everybody
Munger
sees
cut
that
his
and
stake in
follows that.
half. Modus Bry sold all of it. But
What about did Phil Towns ever get in?
Phil Town he does own it. Yeah, I mean, we won't know if he sold it until those filings come out, and I don't know when they come out. They should be out in May sometime.
Fair enough.
Those are 13F filings.
I'm not even that far down, and I can easily average my cost down. So I mean,
I
don't
average
see why
from
I'm not staying in it.
I mean, I average from 200 to 133. So
Literally.
I averaged, you know what I mean? I kept buying.
Mm-hmm.
But like it just, it was I just want to like be confident in my process and I just realized that okay, I really like this isn't for me, dude.
All right, what about Facebook then?
Facebook, so I also added something to my checklist. And Facebook scares me not because it's not a great company. Again, it is. It's a very great company. It's a fantastic company. Over half the world uses it. I want to invest in stuff that people love, if that makes sense. And you know what I mean? Like I want to invest in something that people love and that I love. I don't like social media. I got off of it.
Right.
I don't have any social media except for, Twitter for sports and stocks, and that's about it. But, I don't have any social media and I don't like the way it, affected me. So like, why would again, I think my main problem was I saw something drop. I saw it fall to a good price and then I wanted to buy it right away because it doesn't happen often. And I just like overreacted.
Are you saying you don't like it in terms of social media as a whole, or the way why Zuckerberg has been in the news so much with like negative publicity?
No, I don't like social media as a whole. It's
Yeah.
why I deleted it. It wasn't for me. I think it's, I mean, it can be used in positive ways for sure, but you know what I mean? I'm not on it, so I sold both of those and bought a different stock.
All right, then what have you moved into?
Now
That's
that's
the
the
question.
question.
Now you
This company, I made sure to check all the boxes. Do I
are you
love
sure?
it?
Because I thought you checked the boxes last time. This is why I'm the
Yeah, I mean
deceived
that's
right now.
people make mistakes, Max. You know
Fair
what I
enough,
mean?
fair enough. All right, then what are we looking at?
21 years old, brother, man.
Monster Energy.
No, it's too expensive.
Okay.
I'll show you the stock. Can you guess? I want to give
No.
you one more guess.
It was Monster. It's definitely not PayPal.
No, it wasn't Monster. Monster.
I have no clue. It's probably very basic. Lululemon.
No. Google.
Fair enough.
Alphabet.
That's pretty straightforward. They own everything. Is this why you were asking? I should have known. You were asking the other day all about Roku and people's. Is that why you're asking? You were talking about YouTube, TV, and stuff like that.
No, that was just an actual question. I was just.
Oh, okay.
I was just curious. Google. Do I love it? I love it. I use everything. Unlike Facebook, unlike Alibaba, I don't fucking use Chinese. Why would I use it?
That is true.
I don't use
Google
Instagram.
kind of owns the world. So
Google, I use Google Sheets, lifesaver. I use Google Docs, lifesaver.
YouTube.
I use Google Drive, lifesaver. YouTube is my favorite platform.
Yeah.
We have YouTube TV.
That stuff's good.
Obviously, I use Google to search things. You know
True.
what I mean? So I use it. I love it. And generally, people love Google. Like, who have you heard that? Man, I freaking hate searching things on Google.
Right. No one even
You know what I
says
mean?
it. It's funny. It's not like look it up. It's just
Google
it. So like it kind of is taking over the world.
Yeah.
110%. No one says Bing it. You're not hearing shouts of Bing. I don't even know what Bing does, to be honest.
It's literally a search engine that Microsoft.
I mean, I know what it does, but it's just like
Just get rid of it.
It's too much going on Bing, and no one wants to say Bing it. That's just Google it is a lot better.
Yeah,
and they own everything.
So exactly, Google has this amazing. It's similar to Apple. It has this amazing network that works very well together. I use Gmail. I use Google Sheets. I use Google Docs. I use Google Drive. I use YouTube. I use YouTube TV. I use
yeah.
Google. I mean, you know what I mean? So, I just, do I personally love it? Yes. Do other people love it? Yes. Generally, people love YouTube. They love Google. They love the cloud service it provides.
I'm more
And
surprised
then,
about Facebook sell than Alibaba, but the Google buy is understandable.
well,
That is understandable.
again, yes, Facebook is a great company, but I didn't love their business. I don't love social media like that, you know?
Right. Did you
The
talk about
most
Twitter last week, by the way?
No. Oh, we can bring up Twitter.
Yeah, it just got bought out today by Elon
Yeah.
Musk. It's going private? I did not know that.
Yes. So dude, that's so funny.
I
Okay.
didn't know it was going private. So does that mean it's going to be taken off the
Taken off the exchange. Yeah, it's not public
so
anymore.
you can't even trade Twitter anymore? What
You
does that do
can
to
you can until it's finalized.
Yeah, but like when it's finalized, what do people do with those shares? Do they just get
The
liquidated?
share price will go up to 54.20 and you sell. It'll just flatline at 54.20 and then you get out
That
of
is
it.
crazy.
Yep.
How do you sell? That doesn't even make any sense because there has to be buyers. So
No, the market makers will buy it. Or Twitter will buy it. You know what I mean? Like
it has to be
I
something.
was
It has to be something with Twitter because
I was
there's no way the
Twitter will
market
probably buy
makers
it.
just buy it because they just lose money.
I was in a stock that got bought out one time a while ago. It was a pharmaceutical company,
I remember that. That's what got us into
and
investing.
it shot up and then it flatlined until that usually when it flatlines is when the deal's done.
Twitter being private sounds kind of funny as a whole. Has he talked about what he's going to do with it? I don't think there's been any news about what he's going to do with it. I think about a week and a half ago, he said, I like Twitter. I'm going to buy it. I think he kind of gave him an ultimatum. If you don't let me buy it,
I'm gonna
I
sell
will
my shares,
sell. Yeah, I'll sell all my shares and like it'll drop back down again.
and then I'll offer you an even lower price.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
it's kind of scary. It was literally like,
It was basically a hostile takeoure without being
yeah,
hostile.
yeah. It was like the most like physically threatening threat. It
Yeah.
was a threat,
Give
110%,
me
but it was
give
disguised.
me your company or I'll destroy it.
Yeah,
basically.
like I will basically like tweet a lot on your platform about how bad your platform is. That's impressive. What was it for?
Yeah.
44 billion? I think I read.
44 billion, which is it was after trading today, it was at 40 billion. So there's a little bit of a premium there to be squeezed out. Usually it doesn't go up to that price until, like I said, until it's finalized. Because there's obviously still risks that it could fall through and stuff like that.
Yeah, it could fall through, and then it would be even more devastating. So if it does fall through, it sounds like either way, Twitter's screwed. Not really. If it goes good, it'll be all right. But I'm saying like, if they didn't sell it, they're screwed. If they sold it and it fell through, they're screwed. And if they buy it, who knows what Twitter's about to become? It's about to. I don't really know. It could go two ways. It could just be meme central, or it could be something that he's actually trying. It's weird because it has nothing to do with his other businesses. But then when you look at it, the Boring Company has nothing to do with SpaceX. Has nothing to do with now Twitter. Has nothing to do with Tesla. So,
I would not ever. Just like if I were to sports gamble, I would not bet against LeBron James or Tom Brady. In this, I would not bet against Elon Musk.
that is wow. Write that down somewhere. Is Elon Musk just the Tom Brady and LeBron James of whatever? I can't even label what he does. Actually,
get stuff done. Business. He just gets stuff done.
I think that's it. He's just doing it, man.
He just does it, man. So yeah.
Whatever
but
it is.
Just to clarify things, because Owen sent something. Owen sent something about I might put some money into it in case it goes higher. And I was like, why would you do that? And he was like, you don't think it's going to go higher in a year if Elon's running the company? And that's where I was like, Owen, it's going private, my friend.
Yeah, that's unlucky.
Yeah, so
it actually will do nothing. It won't even go down. It's actually
stopped at 54.20 at some point. Yes, you will.
Technically, you could make money right now, could you not?
Yeah, you could, but again, like I said, there's always a risk. There's always a risk, premium type thing until it's finalized.
I don't know enough about this, but I was looking at options on it. And why wouldn't you buy like I mean, yes, there's risk of it not going through, but if it doesn't go through, Twitter's stock is screwed. So I don't think Elon will really give it a chance to not go through. And in that case,
I
Uh,
don't know. I don't know how options work with buyouts. I know how shares work, but I don't know how options work because they're contracts.
technically the premium will go up.
But what if it just trades sideways and you have a $54 call? It just doesn't go
I wouldn't buy
anywhere.
a 54. I'm looking at $52 call for 76 cents, which means it has to go to 52.76 for me to break even. It's bought out for 54. So
Yeah, but you don't know when it's going to be finalized. That's the issue.
that is the issue.
Could be 6 months.
Oof, yeah, now we're looking at something. Oh yeah, no, okay.
Where the premiums looking out far?
I'm looking at January 20th of
What do they look like?
2023. We're looking at $2.70. So the break, what is $54?
54, yeah.
Yeah, none of it would. I'd have to buy a. I mean, I could. I'd have to spend 2,200. I'd have to spend a couple grand. But
Right. I mean, it's all basically there. You know what I mean? Like it's $3.
Somebody's smarter than me. I'll put it that way.
Change.
And someone's figured that stuff out. I
Yeah,
feel like
change.
I'm too naive in the market to say like that will work. There has to be a loop or something to that further.
Yeah.
Because then everyone would be buying these deep in the money options.
And you want me to be honest? I had Darren texted me, Aiden Lacko texted me. They all said Elon bought Twitter, free speech getting brought back to Twitter. Twitter is by far the gnarliest social media platform I've ever been on.
You can say whatever you want.
You can say basically whatever you want. You can post basically whatever you want. I mean,
look at the tweets back in like when it first got made. Like there was some stuff that you look at and it's like big time famous people and you're like, why would you even? It's funny because it came out.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
Kevin.
like,
I think Kevin Durant said something like, "I would take a bath in someone's, or I would drink someone's bathwater." I forgot what female it was.
It's not even like bad stuff. It's just like what? And it's funny because I watch a lot of Taj.0, and Taj.0 came out in the perfect era where people were just posting anything. They didn't know what the internet was, and Twitter came out in this era. So they were just posting it, not knowing that this stuff is quite literally a forever thing until the end of time. It will be there. And I think that's what it's gotten a little not censored, but people have gotten smarter because people have realized what it actually is. So I don't know about this whole it's going to be uncensored stuff again. I don't know.
Dude, it's a crazy place anyways.
Yeah, it always just wraps into politics somehow, some way.
Yeah, exactly. I know one person that's been banned off Twitter, and it's Donald Trump, and that's literally it. I don't know anyone. I follow someone called Korn. He's hilarious, and he gets suspended every once in a while. But that man says some gnarly stuff, dude. Like he says some crazy stuff.
The guidelines are kind of don't bully, and even those, there's some borderline bullying comments. Like not even bullying, but like making fun of people. Like you're like,
yeah.
whoa.
So this whole free speech thing, it's
on
all
Twitter.
It is. Yeah, it is. Apart from racism and bullying, you know what I mean? Like, and
you got the burner accounts of famous people, which are just taking it to the next level because they really say whatever they want, which is incredible.
And like you said, Max, it's just a lot of politics. Like you see a lot of, again, we're not going to get too far into it because we don't care, but you see a lot of Republicans very happy about this, probably because their, president Donald Trump was taken off.
That is probably true. And
yeah,
good for them, I guess.
I just be happy.
Whatever it's going to be, good for them. Don't really care.
But all I know is Twitter is a war zone, dude.
It's crazy, an incredible place.
So
it is. And he's gonna have some fun with it. It's gonna be.
There's gonna be an edit button. Yeah.
Wow.
Now the thing I'm interested to see is he actually going to run Twitter, or is he going to keep? Well, he won't keep the management team because that's the whole reason he's.
I don't know why you'd go through the struggle of buying it for $44 billion. I know that's a fraction of what his net worth is, But
I mean, it's a sizable fraction, but yeah, it's still a fraction.
yeah, but in the end, it's like it's Twitter. It's not going to collapse in the near
Right.
future. So
Yeah.
it's not risk free, but he's going to be all right.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
man.
We've gone on for 30. Are we going to make 2 episodes?
No, because the first 5 was nothing.
Okay. You're right. It was not.
Me and Logan went for like 35, 40 last episode with
Screw it.
Netflix.
Screw it. We have stuff to talk about, I guess. I thought you guys talked about Netflix last week.
We did. Yeah, we did. We just basically talked about the whole business plan and is it a good investment? And I mean, it's trading at basically what I said was whoever was buying Netflix at 700 was very silly because it was basically a $400 billion company with 30
Right.
billion in revenue and no free cash flow.
Fair
and
enough.
now it's much better to look at because it's 90 billion with 30 billion in revenue, and that sounds a lot better than 400 billion with 30 billion in revenue. So
have you switch gears? Have you gotten into what finance classes have you taken? Like what have you been? What's been the big picture of everything?
So the finance class that I'm taking right now is Intro to Financial Management. I'm learning just basically everything: bonds, stock valuation, cost of capital.
Do you learn about
all
beta
that
and all
stuff.
that?
Yeah, learning about it right now.
I guess we'll talk about what I brought up the other day. We kind of answered it, but I think it could be kind of interesting and kind of eye-opening for a lot of people. So basically, a lot of funds are made up of or run off the premise of a certain beta portfolio, a certain alpha portfolio.
Boring.
Yeah, and beta and alpha, they're slightly different.
I don't know what alpha is. I know what beta is. Beta is just risk or volatility, whatever.
It's basically deviation from the benchmark that is like say S&P 500. I'll give the alpha definition because just so I can give it straight up. Alpha finance.
Give it to me, daddy.
Definition. Okay. Definition. Alpha or beta is basically risk. Like it's what they call is non-diversifiable risk. You can't diversify your portfolio and get rid of beta. Does that make sense?
You can't diversify your portfolio and get rid of beta.
Yeah, you can't like.
I thought you
beta
could lower
is basically
it.
the risk of being in the market. That's basically what it is. Like
Okay.
you're in the market, like there's going to be risk, and so you can't get rid of that risk by diversifying. A lot of portfolio managers say, a lot of finance classes, they say diversify, right?
Yeah.
It will get all the risk away. That's what they say. You can't get rid of this. I guess alpha is what you can diversify away, if that makes sense. Alpha is a measure of the active return on an investment, the performance of the investment compared with a market index. So it's basically like how much more.
Wait, are you getting into the thing that we talked about with why
Yes.
firms do the same thing over and over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to explain alpha and beta because
okay.
I don't think a lot of people really understand it. Alpha is basically just trying to beat the market. How much are you beating the market by?
Okay.
And there's a whole mathematical calculation behind it.
Yeah,
the market is again like the S&P. Anyway,
I would not advise anyone to get into finance. It's so boring.
It's pretty boring, and a lot of it is just so kind of contradicting.
It's also a lot of it is also not needed
and up in the air.
Yeah,
like it's like this could work. No one really knows. You're basically predicting the future with finance.
it's basically it.
That's literally what it is, and
with
no
assumptions,
one can predict the future.
That's it.
And accounting is just keeping track of what happened. So it's basically my professor said finance is playing the game, accounting is keeping the score. Basically,
there you go.
That's literally what it is. Anyway, besides the point, a lot of managers run off beta and alpha, which
they do.
We have never said those two terms in our whole entire podcast career. Maybe, I don't know. But it's just interesting that basically it's the beta and the alpha are basically measuring how risky their investments are. So like, it's just interesting. Me and Jared were talking about it, that a lot of these guys, a lot of these portfolio managers run their portfolios based off these, and they so heavily weight it, and there's so much math calculations that go into it to get a specific beta or specific alpha. When you see people that Jared have mentioned all the time go, what, Munger, Phil
Munger,
Towns,
Buffett.
yeah, Buffett, all these people who probably have never
Wait, I
said the word beta or alpha in their life, and they just go off value investing. And I asked to Jared, why do you think these fund managers don't?
Well, can I butt in real quick, Max?
Yeah.
So what they say about beta is, so beta is basically risk, right?
In simple terms, yes.
Okay, so yes, in simple terms, beta is risk. What the investors I say, or what the investors I follow say risk is not knowing what you own, not understanding what you own. That's what risk is to them. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting though, because the billionaires of the world measure their risk in a completely different aspect than the career that me and Jared have chose to go into. That is basically managing money. And I'm about to do an internship type thing this summer.
Oh yeah, you are. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and I feel like we'll have a lot of content then, because it'll be the first time any of us on the podcast have had like literal, like real world,
Like professional type shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like serious experience, I guess is the word. Because I want to see what they really base their portfolio. And I know everyone does it differently. Like, you found this one firm that did it off value investing, correct?
Yeah, Harris Associates. Like,
Yeah,
man,
right. And I think basically my question was, why do you think all these portfolio managers don't run it off value investing? That was the question, rather than beta and alpha and all these weird things.
It's, yeah, you said basically, why don't the big firms do like investing where you wait for a stock to become undervalued and then you invest it? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think part of it we answered. Part of it's time. And you saw in like The Big Short that like things were going wrong, which a lot of value investing, things will go wrong for a while.
Yeah.
Until it goes right. And in The Big Short, all the guys were emailing him, calling him up, saying, "Take my money out. I'm going to sue you for losing me money." Blah, blah, blah. And I think a big reason that people, one of them, that they don't do value investing is timing. You can't sit around and lose money for a long time, lose other people's money for a long time.
You can't sit in cash for a long time when you have clients.
Yeah, like fund managers, most of their portfolio management is active. So value investing is completely passive. I mean, you're holding positions for
very long time.
Year, 5, 10, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the reason these firms are more active is because they have to keep up with each other. So and they're judged on a very short-term basis, whether it's month to month, quarter to quarter, year to year. They're judged on that basis. Are they beating the market? Are they beating these other firms? Because if the clients see that they're not, they'll just take their money out, go to a different firm that is beating the market or beating that firm.
Right. They're judged in terms of basically losing their job. Like you will get fired if you're not performing and you're not performing quickly, which is funny because I had a whole class talking about, like, is it possible to beat the market? Yes. Is it like, can you duplicate it multiple times? There's a very small percentage. It's possible. Yes, anything's possible. But it's just funny that these fund managers are built off of returns almost instantly. And it's the whole premise of finance is it doesn't work like that. It's funny because fund managers and stuff like that, that's what they're based off of. But when finance talks about your own investing, like personal investing and building a 401k, it's always like benchmark and risk free, and like it's the complete opposite.
That's funny.
It's like just follow an ETF, just do this. But then it's like, we're going to give our money to other people who are basically
trading,
just glorified gambling, and it's like they're two completely different premises. And we've kind of, as a society, just like fallen into it and like accepted it. Like, okay, I'll personally invest very safe, whereas I'll give you my money who I don't really know, and you invest it in a way less safe aspect than I would.
Right.
It's kind of interesting.
That is funny, yeah, because you think they're smarter than you, and they paint themselves out to be smarter than you.
I guess that's their job. Part of it's salesmen, which is
Yeah,
funny. We're kind of going into this.
that's exactly what they are.
They are salesmen who
because
glorify. That's not a word. They do glorify gambling on the side.
yeah, because they get paid by assets under management, and basically that is how much money they're handling.
Right.
So they have to sell themselves to get paid, basically. Literally.
Not all of them. Hedge funds versus mutual funds, they're different. One gets paid off of a percentage of assets under management and how well they do, and the other one is just how well they do. I'm pretty sure it's the mutual funds who get asset under management percentage.
Yeah, hedge funds get the 2 and 20. It's 2% fee for handling your money in the first place. Even if they lose it, you got to pay them 2% of whatever, and then a 20% for any gains or whatever.
Which is insane for if you lose your money, you're still going to pay them.
Yeah.
Your money. I don't know. I think it's funny we talk about that. The more I'm in my finance classes, the more I'm like, this profession is just built off like making things up. Like even trading, when you just trade, when I click a button, all of a sudden I own a share. Like it's just the weirdest concept, and it's made a whole profession that literally runs the world. And that is finance.
Yeah, they do. They do.
In an incredible way.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Max, I want to hold on before we go. I might make this 2 episodes. Before you go,
I have to.
What are you thinking about your holdings?
I'm going to hold it. I don't even have that much in it, so it's like at this point, like I only have like 1,000 in there, maybe, and it's like, what is 1,000 in the grand scheme of things? Till 60 years old, what is $1,000? And I don't even have a job yet. So, and it's not going to go to zero. So that $1,000 is not going to be lost. So it's like in the grand scheme of things, it's like I'm not really worried about it. Like you said, I do believe it's a really great company based off what like you found and what you've said and your research that I've looked at. I mean, the greats obviously bought it, but not to say follow that blindly. But I think there was a lot of hype around it, and in the same breath, everything is getting hammered right now. Literally everything. I haven't seen a green day in the market other than like less than 1%.
Well, today.
Yeah, less than 1%?
Like 200 points on the Dow.
There we go. It was 0.70%. Yeah. And so it's like I don't know. I used to freak out when like my individual stock was like red or lost money that day, but it's like let's look at the market, like the indexes, and see what the health of the economy is like as a whole. Yeah. Like I looked at it the other day to see in a couple months what the Dow did during COVID times. And it was a correction of like, I think it was like
37%.
No. At its all-time low, 85%, 87% correction. I can't show you this right now. Hold on, let me put this down. Oh, this is going to be hard. All right, look at that. From May 16, 2020 to December 20th, 2021, there was an 87%.
Oh, up increase, not a correction.
I just meant correction in terms of like it going all the way down. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yes.
Increase, from its bottom to the top, it was 87%.
Yeah, which is like, what is that? Not even
almost a
little over a year, like a year and a half ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, a year and a half ish of almost. Let's round it up. Almost 100%.
Every single day, man. I remember every single day it was up. Right. And I was like, holy shit, dude, this is crazy.
Yeah. And so referring to my holdings, it's like the market did almost 100% increase in a year and a half. That's unheard of. Mm-hmm. So I'm not too worried about the things actually correcting themselves. And the hype around investing for that period was through the roof. And we've talked about this so many times. There were so many people in the market that didn't know what they were doing in the market, that were talking like they knew what they were doing in the market.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we built a podcast off of it. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not because of that, but like around that time, we started the podcast.
We did.
And it's just like this correction is inevitable and honestly healthy.
It's
So,
very healthy.
I'm not
It
worried.
improves future returns. That's how you got to look at it.
That is literally what it is.
That's what it does.
Lower
It
prices
improves.
are higher returns if you look at it like that. Yeah.
There you go. There you
We
go.
just learned that like last week. I mean, not like
There you
learned
go.
that, but he said that quote.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
It's
And
true.
so I'm not really worried about it, because I was looking at it. I was like, oh my God, this has only gone down. Like I'm down, what, like probably like 40% ish, right at 40. But it's like, one, in the grand scheme of things, how much money is it? Two, you don't sell, you don't lose. Three, it's a correction. That second one's going to be good. But three,
no, it's kind of true. You don't sell.
It is. Like I haven't lost anything technically. But
again, the main reason I sold my two stocks, Baba and Facebook, I want to. This is something that I put on my checklist, and that is basically the most important thing. If the market closed down, again, this is a Warren Buffett thing. If the market closed down for 10 years, would I be absolutely happy owning this stock? The market closed down for 10 years, would I be, I'm fine. I can't trade it for 10 years. I can't sell it for 10 years.
All right.
Alibaba, no, I don't get it. It's in a different country.
Right. That is true.
I don't understand.
That's a good point.
And then Facebook. No company gets sued more than Facebook, dude.
That is true.
Meta, we're going to call it now. Meta.
I look at it in terms of like, I agree with what you're saying. I do like that for personal investing, but I'm about to go into like this summer. I think my whole world is about to be rocked in terms of, I'm going to be not like single-handedly making the trades, but I'm going to be like hearing about it. I'm going to be looking at it. I'm going to get like inside information of how handling money works.
Yeah.
So I know everything that is being bought by whatever company I'm going to work for, I'm not going to love. So I think I'm kind of looking at it like that, or I'm not going to know 100% about it. I can't do that much research and how little time that I have to move position X to position Y, you know? So that's how I'm kind of feeling about it. I'm not saying it's the way to go, but it's just a way to look at it. Like that's what our careers are kind of going to be ish if we do go into money management. So it's an interesting thought. Yeah.
It's not imperative for you to, in order for you to buy a stock, you have to love it, like that's not imperative. But I was just thinking to myself, I mean,
you're 100% right. Yeah.
If I'm going to own a share of a business, I want to love said business.
Mm-hmm.
I can't love something I don't really understand with Alibaba, and I can't love something that I don't love in social media.
And in doing so, it relieves a lot of the stress.
Yeah.
Like you don't really have to think about it. You're like, I use it, and I know a lot of people that do use it.
I love it.
And it's going to be around for a while. So in that case, in the long run, stocks always win. They're basically, we had like a chapter of this in my finance class. In terms of the premise of the chapter was stocks are risk-free. And at first glance, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But when you hold, on average, when you hold things for an extended period of time, 10, 20, 30, 40 years,
you make money.
95% of the time, they will go up unless that company fails. That's probably the 5%. So it's like, these things are basically, and if you love them and if you know them and if everyone uses them, how risk-free can it possibly get, in the long scale, in grand scheme of things.
Right. For me, and again, I own Google, and when the stock splits, I'll own 20 shares.
Oh yeah, that will.
I contribute monthly to VOO, and I own share Berkshire. So, and I'm like 80%. No, what am I? What am I in cash? I'm basically 90+% in cash. Even after the Baba loss, which was it was a lot it wasn't a crazy amount. Like I could make that back. If I really, really, really tried to, I could make it back in a month.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a crazy amount, but I'm not like waiting for the market to crash. I just wanted to be like, in order to invest, I just wanted to have my like checklist there set. Like you're gonna like, I had this thing in my head with Alibaba, like for a while. I don't feel fully comfortable in it, and I had it for a while. So when I sold, like for the decision for me to sell, it was okay. We're starting from scratch. You're gonna do it right this time. You're gonna buy a company you love, buy a company others love. Great company. Market closed down 10 years. You'd be fine owning it. You won't even look at it. You know what I mean? Like you understand it.
Right.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
So
Fair
that's
enough.
what I did.
Can't argue
That's what I
that.
did. No. So take that deceived friend name out of here. You
Nope.
didn't even let me explain.
I did. I was deceived. End of story. That was a 50-minute episode, huh? That has to be.
We're gonna cut it into two. But again, Alibaba could do well. It very well might do very, very well into the future.
Beep, boop.
It's at such a low price, dude. It's crazy.
I agree.
I don't
That's why I'm staying in it. I mean, and it's such a small percentage. So
yeah,
it's like,
and I could go on and on. I mean, I don't understand anything about China, dude. Like, I don't understand this. I don't understand that. I'm not into that. I made a mistake here, made a mistake there. It was impulse. I rushed it. There was just a lot of stuff.
that is true.
Yeah. Go
Psychology
Google.
of trading.
Google reports tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how that works.
Big time.
That is a big time. That is a big time. I think
For tomorrow he sells. Doesn't understand the company. Doesn't know what's going on. Google introduces something else, and he can't do it anymore.
Let's see. Google, hold up. So there's this, Max, I don't know if you're interested in I am, okay. There's this app called Quarter right there. Yeah. And basically it goes, so for example, if I wanted to listen to Netflix earnings call, like that's it. It literally just goes all the way, and then you can skip to the Q&A session, so you don't have to hear all the business stuff in the beginning. No, it's cool. It's a good app.
My dad showed me some website that tells you every single earnings, like the earning dates of everything, like on a calendar, and I think it's similar. Yeah. But it's like it's in your browser. I don't know I forgot what it was called though.
I don't know either. But yeah, that's my portfolio. Those are the changes. Facebook out, Baba out, Google in, BLO stay, Berkshire stay. Yeah, that's
incredible.
That's all. That's it.
That was an action-packed episode.
Yes, it was.
That was something. 50 minutes. That's gonna be 2.
It'll be 2. I'll cut it.
Welcome to episode 55.
I'll cut it from. I guess
you could slice that up a couple different ways.
When we stopped talking about the stocks and Twitter, and then we went into the
boom
and stuff. There you go.
Booyah.
All right.
Follow us on everything.
Follow us on nothing. Watch us on. Listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's going crazy. I love it. Appreciate
making those numbers go up on Anchor. They make us happy. Okay.
And watch us on YouTube if you want. That's it.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. Bye.